I think we're live. We're live. Here we go. Holy mackerel. It is Russell and Hunter's the Brewmance, the Friday Nooner. Thanks for hanging out with, I say us. Rob is not with us today. Rob's got the day off. So here we are. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover, and I'm proud to have you here. So again, play along on the little bar here. And if you go like this, and by bar, I mean, see, it's Friday. Okay. So, and by bar, I mean, just in the comments. And I go like this. If I go like that, I'm going to read something because I'm an old man, and that's how we do. I'm a little jumpy right now, a little jittery before we get into cell phone outages, border crossings, and all that. A little jumpy. My girlfriend bought me a Roomba for Christmas. And if you know anything about me, I'm deathly afraid of the rise of the machine, Skynet. We've seen this before. I believe firmly it started with the Roomba. And so I just finally gave in. I've got all tile and wood floors. I was tired of sweeping. I'm like, fine, I'll give in. I'll give it a try. And I think it was more of a, I got you something that you're not going to like, but you're going to have to use it anyway. And so I tried to just recently, right before it came on air, I tried to put it right where I wanted it to be in the kitchen area. And I put some stuff there so it couldn't get out to the living room, couldn't come in here to my studio, couldn't get into the laundry room. And guess what? It broke into all of those places, each and every one. Exactly. That's exactly my point. I'm telling you, the machines are going to take over. And again, it started with the Roomba. So when the machines are terrorizing our towns, you can say, you know what, Mike? You were right. All about the Roomba, because each of the machines will stop if they pass a Roomba, and they will all, they'll give homage. They will salute in some manner to the great grandfather of what took out our species with robots, and that's the Roomba. Thanks for being here. Had a great time at spring training yesterday. Spring training is fantastic. Spring training is off and running. The first game of spring training, first game of baseball season. Thank goodness it's here. It was Dodgers Padres, and y'all know me. Y'all know me. I am I'm a Dodger fan. Diehard Dodger, always been, always will be. But Mike, you got to support the home team. I supported the D-backs when they were in the World Series. Totally did. What's up, Eddie? How you doing, buddy? What's good? What's a good win? No, I kid. It's Eddie Goodwin. Ed, thanks for hanging out with me. And Rob's got the day off, so we'll be back in the saddle hopefully on Monday. And but anyway, spring training is fantastic. You see, a little bit of color on my cheeks because I had hat and sunglasses on, so a little raccoony. But that's how it is. It's beautiful out. My goodness, oh my goodness, it's beautiful out. So fantastic game because the Padres got their booty spanked. So any day the Padres can have a bad day, it's a good day for me. Just throwing it out there. We scored 8 runs in the first inning against them. It was bad. All right, let's get to this. How about it? If you're an AT&T customer, you are none too happy this week as there was major outages, 12 hours. They had major outages. Verizon, T-Mobile, not so impacted, but it was the AT&T that dropped it. Apparently, it was. Let's go through the litany of things that they're claiming it was here. They turned it off and turned it back on. Very help desk there. Control-Alt-Delete the entire system. Yeah, because apparently help desk jumped in and asked if they had turned it back on. But so 12 hours. This was out. Y'all know me. I believe in coincidences. I've just never seen one. So when you say, oh man, what a crazy time. We've seen a lot of these weird events going on, and magically cell phone service for an entire service or entire company goes down for 12 hours. Yeah, I believe in coincidences. I've just never seen one. This is not. Part of the list of things that the internet is claiming is that it hit a satellite was hit. Okay. Here's how it works. Not a satellite. If AT&T had a satellite, a meteor smacks the satellite, which, by the way, satellites get knocked every darn day. If a satellite was taken out by a meteor or something like that, it's very Bruce Willis, Ving Rhames kind of vibe. Is that Ving Rhames? Oh, big guy. But anyway, it's not going to knock out entire cell service to one spot for 12 hours. This is not. And if it is keystrokes, they go, the NASA kids go like this. Tick, 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 and guess what? they go to the next satellite. It's that easy. So it's something else here. And I am going to be that guy because the winning reasoning for the cell phone outage has been, I think, nationwide has been a solar flare. Solar flares happen all the time, and solar flares are a real thing. They're a big thing. It's a big deal. It's why we can walk outside and not freeze to death is because we have that giant ball of gas that keeps us nice and warm. And in its warm giving time, it likes to throw out solar flares pointed at one of the other rocks spinning around it. There's my scientific definition of that or explanation. Why in 35, 40 years now that we have been dancing around with these cell phones? Remember the brick phones back in the day? Yeah, my dad had one of those hilarious. They get like $19 a minute or something dumb like that. You're the only satellite calling landlines is fantastic. But in all of these times, these 4 decades that we've been playing with cell phones, for 3 decades we've been playing with cell phones. Why have we not been bum rushed by a solar flare before? It just happened to happen this time. It only took out one. Verizon, T-Mobile. All right. What is it? Was it Singular Wireless that conspiracy? Did they take out that evil AT&T? Yeah, well, they took us out. We'll take them out. No. Sorry. Marco Rubio, very quick to jump on board with this. Marco Rubio is, I really don't know what Marco Rubio's deal is. Can you imagine how fragile our political system is? And what a dumb popularity contest our political system is? I mean, for real, think about it. Marco Rubio went like this. Took a drink of water. He was the heir apparent. He was taking over for the RNC. He was the young up-and-comer. He was the one. And then Marco Rubio gave the State of the Union Republican rebuttal and took a drink of water, shaking like a leaf. He was nervous. That's fine. He has not recovered from that. That's wild. Like, there's a reason why he did not jump on board. Why little Marco? I don't know if he just didn't want to take on Trump, but little Marco did not run again after that. It's just done. So anyway, I did a decent senator. Marco Rubio claims, let's see here. Don't worry. Don't worry about a big cell phone outage. It's not the government. It's not the government testing anything. Don't you dare worry about it. Because now we get the scare tactics, right? Here comes it comes from both sides, peeps. It comes from both sides. Marco Rubio says, don't you dare worry about solar flares and an outage of 12 hours for one cell carrier. The cyber attack that's imminent from China that's coming over when they take Taiwan, that's going to be 100 times worse. Now, usually I would take Marco Rubio at his word. Marco Rubio, thanks, David. Appreciate it, man. And thanks for playing along. But I take Marco Rubio at his word. Marco is a wise dude. He is a smart kid. He also was during the Podesta days. Remember the Podesta emails that just floored Hillary Wasserman Schultz? She's still raking in money as a congresswoman. She's fine. Hillary Clinton still raking in money with the Clinton Foundation. She's fine. But it basically crushed her candidacy and Debbie Wasserman Schultz's reign as the head of the DNC when his email got hacked. And we learned all the shady stuff that they were doing. Marco Rubio was very wise in saying, before we dance on the graves of our opposition here with these emails, be careful what you say, because they come after us. That's right, because it only takes one server to get hacked on the RNC side, and what Marco was basically saying is we do the same shady stuff. Yeah. This is what was that, Lim? With all the more important stuff, around me. Honest, see now you're gonna Lynn, you're gonna make me put my glasses on. I'm telling you, you're gonna make me do it. All right, just see this. Oh, it's on the bottom of the list. Yeah, the cell thing. Okay. Look, the big hubbubaloo about it was interesting Because again, it just seemed like the mass media doing what the mass media does in trying to cover for something, or just, I mean, look at it. We're talking about asteroids hitting cell satellites. We're talking about solar flares, or whatever it is. But this is essentially, to me at this point, this is what I'm getting into here. It's all in plain sight, all of it. And these conspiracy theories that we got lambasted for saying, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theory. There's no way they would do anything like that." Oh, really? They did. Understand, because for those that think that it wasn't anything but a solar flare, that's fine. And you want to roll with that, roll with that. It's there because nothing is proven yet. Nothing has come out as definitive proof of what happened and why it happened. So everybody just has their own theory. Doesn't mean it's a conspiracy theory. Whether it is a satellite solar flare, whatever it is, it's your theory because we don't have proof. But here's the deal. I don't put anything past our government right now, and I don't think anyone should. It is very easy for people to think with rose-colored glasses, like my girlfriend does. Things are the rose-colored glasses. It's fine. Everything's good. It's all good. That's okay. I'm just not thinking that way because I'm seeing it all now in plain sight. So they're not hiding it anymore. They stopped hiding the fact now that we know documents been released that the intelligence community helped assassinate a sitting president of the United States. We're like, we knew. Told you. Aliens. We're like, yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah. That's it, right, Stephanie. He's just trying to normalize it. Like everything's fine. No big deal. So whether you want to do something about it or not, or whether I want to do something about it or not, I think the only thing I can do is just protect my tribe and make sure that everybody's good in case anything does happen, anything weird does go down, that I have my plan in place. They know the plan. And I can be the one that's checking out things like this and saying, that's fishy. I should see if there's anything I can link to kind of connect the dots and think, okay, yeah, now I'm kind of getting there. But the fear mongering comes up now with the Marco Rubio saying, "Oh, don't you worry about that." Hey, if China takes Taiwan, the cyber attack will be worse. Listen, if China takes Taiwan, which I believe is imminent, at least I do, I believe it is. We have a lot of fish to fry at that point. I don't know about bigger fish, but there's a lot more problems we're going to have to deal with. So it leads me to my question. Why isn't Biden talking? Of course, it's a rhetorical question because I know he's bought and owned by China. His entire family is. If you just want to look at, again, not a conspiracy, we can see it in the documents that are being ignored widely and the actions of this administration. The play would be and should be, hey, Xi Jinping, can we talk? Listen, we know that you have peeps on our side. You know we have peeps on your side. You have the spies. We have the spies. Here's what we know. We know about your cyber attack that you're planning. We know you're planning on invading Taiwan. So here's what's going to happen if you do. We are going to XYZ. And by the way, that XYZ is just the tip of the iceberg. If that's comfortable enough for you, we're just going to go ahead and up the ante here and go to things I don't even want to talk to you about. So can we just call it good? Let's just call it good. We're not talking. And obviously, I'm making this as basic as possible. Obviously, there's geopolitical everything going on here. We have a man who can't walk a flight of steps in dress shoes running the free world. So I understand that it's not that easy, but it should seem that easy to the you and I, to the we the people. That's the way it should seem. And that's the way it should be happening. It's not going to. Because again, China has the majority of basically those that we look up to in this nation, with the elected officials, even sports franchises in their back pocket. China's owning them. It's done. I watched a bit of an NBA game last night, and it was the Suns game, Suns and Mavs. And I was like, what am I doing? Why am I even supporting this noise? Why am I even supporting this nonsense? I like the home team doing well, looking good, and getting in the playoffs and all that. That's fine. That's cool. But it's literally a China run enterprise. And when I was watching the game, and I thought to myself, Luka Doncic from the Mavericks. He's a foreign cat. I don't know where he's from, but he's exactly what the NBA needs. The smack in the face that the NBA needs. Hands down, he's their best player. At least last season, hands down, their best player. This man's a freak. He does not look like he is going to dominate on a basketball court, but then he just takes over, Rover. It's impressive. And so the post game interviews are, Luka, how about this? And what do you think of this? And the NBA now said this. He's like, I don't care. This is my job. Do you feel you as a team leader? Do you think you're a role model for kids around the world? No, I'm just here working. This is my job. After they won the finals, they asked him, Luka, are you excited about your championship parade? He's like, well, we have a parade? He looks upstage. What, we have a parade? When is this? And they said Thursday. And he goes, I can't do this. I can't do Thursday. I'm going to leave right afterwards. I can't do this. Dude just wants to get back to his farm. He's exactly what the NBA deserves. Someone who doesn't care. The NBA should be cashing in on this amazing basketball player. And they that's the smack they get. I love it. Luka, congratulations. You're the smack we've all wanted. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is Wrestling Hunters, the Brewmance. Friday nooner. Appreciate everybody coming on here. Before we jump over to some fun news. Rhonda, thanks for hanging out. Gregory, appreciate you being here. Yeah. There's really nothing you really can say. Yeah. And trying to normalize it. Yeah. Who to trust? Rhonda, there's nobody we trust. I don't trust anybody anymore. I don't trust the media anymore. I don't trust Washington anymore. And I'm not that guy that's got, strings going all over the place and I'm going to, figure out what the big deal. No. Here's what I know. And I think here's what you and I know is that everybody's in for themselves. There are very few. And I could probably count them on one hand, people that are still in Washington, D.C. that really want to do something and make a difference. I'm going to say David Schweikert's a friend and he's friend because you don't have friends that make a career lying and hurting people. So that's not his deal. He's a good man trying to do good things. And so there are a couple. There's a small handful in Washington, D.C. Other than that, they're there for themselves. Look at the vice president alone, for the love of grief, went in to be VP at $3 million. She's now worth, I believe, over $16 million. How does that happen? Yeah, everybody's in it for themselves. I trust nobody. Let's talk about the Biden administration, actually. This is really interesting news this week. Not really interesting. It's stuff that we planned. We knew was coming. Rob and I have been talking about this for years, that right when Joe Biden announced that he is going to forgive student loan debt, that this would happen right before the midterms and right before the big general election, the presidential. That's all this is. So forgiving student loan debt is purely a election year football. It's a card they're playing. You see, the people that are having their debt forgiven very rarely are the people that need to have their debt forgiven the most. And understand, it is the very same as you getting a tax refund and saying, "Woo-hoo, look at that. Ooh, my tax refund was good this year." No, that was your money. That's always been your money. They took it from you. That's always been your money. So a tax refund, yeah. So now we have this paying off student loans. What? It's your money. So the government is taking your money and paying off someone else's debt that they accrued. Yeah. So I'm going to go Elon Musk. Elon's going to pop up a couple times in the show today. And I remember the question that he asked. He just posted it on Twitter. He said, why will we give an 18-year-old a $100,000 loan for college? And he gave the stats of which, so many people don't get degrees, finish these kinds of things. But we won't give an 18-year-old $20,000 loan to start a business. It's a heck of a question. And the reason why that is government. The reason why that is government, period. Because a bank, if I'm a bank, I'm giving loans away left, right, and center. They're backed by the government. I'm like, heck yeah. The government's going to take this giant bundle of student loans that I gave out, and they're going to buy them from me. So I make my money. I get my money. Government now has to go has to go and make sure that person pays their debt. And that stuff hangs out forever like luggage in some STDs. It doesn't go away. I didn't know about this until after I decided that college was a giant scam. I don't have a college degree. I was like, this is not, nobody's learning anything and advancing themselves here. They can advance themselves. If advancing yourself is learning a keg stand, maybe I'm wrong then. But, we have ASU down the road, and I did attend ASU. I was like, hey, but this is nothing. I'm going to go to work. I got to go to work. I got to go make something happen. So I don't have student loans, but student loan debt. So many people have student loan debt and actually finished and realized I was sold a bill of goods. I don't even make enough to make all my payments. So going back to this, Joe Biden, this is so wild to me. Joe Biden said, I can forgive student loan debt. And he made the biggest mistake, one of the biggest mistakes of his presidency. And that was going over the evil queen bee, going over Nancy Pelosi's head. You see, because student loan debt can be forgiven. It can't be forgiven unilaterally. It has to be an act of Congress. That had to go through Nancy's house. And Nancy needed to get the credit. Nancy needed to get the big win, the ego stroke. She needed to get the big W. And she said very quickly after Joe Biden announced that, he can't. No, the president cannot forgive student loans. So what did he do? He went and forgave student loans. What did the Supreme Court say? Mr. Biden, Mr. President, you cannot do that. And he said, oh, wriggle, fraggle, snaggle, fraggle. So they started doing things through Cordona and the Department of Education and doing some end around with COVID relief. It was as shady as can be. Again, your money going to pay off someone else's loans. So now here he is again doing the same thing again. The Supreme Court said, Joe Biden, you cannot do this. And he said, okay, I won't until I do it again. And now he's doing it again. This has been his MO forever. Since he's been president, he has defied I can think of 3 occasions where he has defied the Supreme Court of the United States of America. Checks and balances are gone. Gone. That we have an administration that will not listen to the Supreme Court of the United States. But Donald Trump, the mean orange man, it doesn't matter. He's not the president of the United States. Joe Biden is. So anything you can say about Trump did, W did, Obama did, who cares? They're not the president of the United States. This man is. And he is openly defying the Supreme Court of the United States, the actual body that is supposed to keep him in check. He's like, no, I'm the king. I can do what I want. And here it is again. And let's get to this. Isn't this administration, isn't this party, the actual party, isn't this about fairness? Isn't it? Isn't the Democratic Party about everything should be fair? And we've had time and time again, we've had stories about things having to be fair. We have to make things fair. Big shout out to Huntington Beach, California, and their Little League. My buddy was just in town. His son, he's a coach for in his son's team. His son's 8 years old, and they actually have winners and losers. They actually have tournaments on the weekends where somebody wins the tournament. They get championship rings and everything. The other team's going away crying. They didn't win. That's fantastic. I mean, it's lame that kids hurt. I don't want to see kids hurt. I don't even see kids sad. But you lose, you lose. And so there's no fairness in this. But that's actually fair, but they try to regulate their way out of fairness and make sure that everybody gets a trophy. Yeah, none of that in Huntington Beach Little League, which is fantastic. Great job there. But if your entire party is based on fairness, equality, and equity, what the hell is this move? Really? What is this forgiving student loan nonsense? Are y'all about equity, inclusion? Who are you excluding? I'm telling you who you're excluding. You're excluding those that didn't go to college and accrue a bunch of debt. That's me. I went to college, but I didn't graduate college. But yeah, that's me. They just worked hard and just made their own living. That's me. Why do I have to pay for someone else's debt they incurred? Why? How about those that went to school and paid their way through school? Fantastic. Great job. How about the parents that saved up, took a second job, didn't take those big vacations, drove the same car all the way through their kids' lives just to save for college and pay for it? Good job. Congratulations. You did it. Nice job. Or how about those that actually went to college knowing that they were going to get a marketable degree, not in underwater basket weaving, something cool, something good, something that actually has a future, has an income, and have paid off their student loan debts? I applaud you. But for us to be on the hook for those that haven't, that took a different path, just took the money and ran, and you're going to get it paid off now? That is wildly, that is as un-American as anything could be. And what are the benefits? The first time the president of the United States defied the Supreme Court of the United States and did this unilaterally and unconstitutionally, the overwhelming majority, when asked what they were going to do with their newfound riches, now they don't have to pay student loan debt, what were they going to do with that money? Trips. Overwhelming. That's the survey said. Number one answer. Take a trip. Travel more. Not, oh, I can finally breathe again. I now don't have to decide between groceries and my student loans. That's a fallacy. That is an absolute bold-faced lie that you are being fed to make you guilt you into it. Because it does feel like we are Americans. We are a giving lot. We are an understanding lot. The reason why we have so many safeguards in the United States is because that's who we are. You lose your job, cool, man. You've been paying into unemployment insurance. Here's your unemployment. Keep it going for a little bit. Keep the lights on. Except here in Arizona, I think it's done like $250 or something stupid like that. Not paying anything. Won't even pay rent. So, but you paid in that. You can't buy groceries here, man. We got a SNAP card for you. And on and on and on. We have access here in Arizona, one of the very few states in the nation that has that type of program. We can take care of you until you get back on your feet. It's not meant to be permanent. We can have that discussion some other time. But we have this for the people that desperately need it. And those that have student loans and desperately need to either pay them or pay their groceries, there's programs for them as well. Already. We don't have to forgive student loans to make that happen. We don't have to. And I think it is a smack in the face to the majority of Americans who don't hold student loan debt. And on top of that, this does not help those that they are lying to you and claiming that it helps. The majority of people that are going to benefit from this are upper middle class and the upper class, the upper echelon, the top 15%. That's who's going to benefit from this period. And then trust me, and then that money is going to travel. Because the majority of people that are being claimed, or the administration is claiming is this is going to help, have had a lot of college taken care of for them already. And they've taken advantage of that system, and God bless them for doing that, because again, we, the United States, we the people are the most giving, loving lot there is. We are. We don't have to become socialist to pay for everybody. Everybody gets other. Everybody already gets here. Do you know one of the dumbest things the Biden administration and the Democrats came up with in the last probably 3 years? Food insecurity. We are such a beautiful, amazing nation that we don't have starvation here. I understand the homeless and things like different topic. We don't have starvation here. We don't have rampant hunger here. We have food insecurity. Oh, little Timmy doesn't know if he's going to have a Pop-Tart with his school lunch today. This is absolutely wonderful to look at and go, okay, we actually had to invent a term, food insecurity, so that the Biden administration can up the payout on the SNAP program. That's all they did. It was when they wanted to up, I believe, a 40% increase in the limits for SNAP. So in that, children will no longer have food insecurity, says Nancy Pelosi. They had to make it up. That is all, again, this is kind of the theme of the show today. This is the Nooner. This is Russell and Hunter's the Brewmance and Nooner. Thanks for hanging out with me. Rob's got the day off. He'll be back next week. And so there is just everything. They're not hiding anymore. Like, okay, you know what? The Supreme Court of the United States said I can't do this unilaterally, so whatever. I'm just going to do it unilaterally. Here we go. Forget student loan debt. Woohoo! We're buying votes with your money. Now, what are the benefits? What are the benefits? If you have a $200 or $300, $400 student loan payment, okay, it's hefty, right? That $200, $300, $400 will not even come close to making up the difference in cost of living that has increased by an astonishing rate since Joe Biden took office. And it is. Those that might be rolling your eyes and, oh, you know, it can't be, the president can't give us this inflation. Yes, he can. And he did. And if you believe that the president of the United States couldn't contribute or really give us a 20% increase in cost of living in 3 years, why do they take credit when it goes down to 18? There you go. There's no benefit. Oh, but Mike, these families are going to have more money and more breathing room and more. No, they're not. No, that's not the right. It's not impacting the right families. It's just a handout. This is Russell and Hunter's the Brewmance Friday Nooner. Appreciate you hanging. Let's get to this here. I'll say, Rhonda, what do you got going on here? Hold on a second. Say, Rhonda, yeah. Your son did this whole thing here. All right. Dropped out, joined the trades. That's right. And still paying his 1-year debt. Oh. See? Yeah, take out a loan, go to 1 year of college, go to trade school, and get a good paying, awesome job that he loves, apparently. Thank you for sharing that, Rhonda. And still paying off that year of student. Oh, come. It's unreal. It's just, and I'm sure he doesn't even qualify, Rhonda. I bet that he doesn't even qualify for this forgiveness. It's absolutely asinine. This was an interesting thing that I saw over the week that I think we should chat about. Because I talked about it. The laws of unintended consequences, but I don't know, they might be intended because I don't trust anything from the government. If you want to, if you're thinking, you know what, I like to donate blood. I like to donate blood. And I usually donate blood because, A, my grandfather did it. I'm not going to look at me. I donate blood every day. And yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't think he qualifies? Yeah, Ron, that's terrible. Anyway, so I'm not like, look at me. I'm such a giver. I give of my own homemade blood. I know my grandfather did it. My grandfather died. My grandmother handed me what I was absolutely astonished by. I believe it was like some 30-gallon pin or 50-gallon pin that he got from the Red Cross. The man never passed like a Red Cross center without giving blood. He always gave blood. And it comes from his days as, you know, two Purple Hearts, World War II. The man was just, he trust me, he was the beneficiary of people giving blood. And so he decided to give back. So I do that because I honor my grandfather in that. And I don't do it as much as he does. I do it probably 4 or 5 times a year. I also do it for the health benefits. So I do it for the health benefits as well. So there's some self-serving there. So again, I'm not here to be, look at me. I do that. But people maybe you want to give it to the Red Cross. You want to go to Red Cross blood drive and you want to give blood. There's a question you're going to have to answer. It's a new one. It's a newbie question. I'm going to pull it up right. Huh? It's a straight from the Rapid Pass Red Cross site. Have you ever, and ever is in all caps. I'm going to try to show it to the screen. Nah, it's not working too well. Have you ever, let me read it again. Have you ever had a coronavirus COVID-19 vaccine? If yes, continue to see if you still qualify to donate your plasma, your blood. Huh. Didn't see this one coming, did you? I didn't have this on my card. I really didn't. And all of the time that Rob and I have talked about the vaccines and in the well, let's see here, the vaccines, the COVID response, all of that, I didn't really think, oh my gosh, there's going to be people. Health benefits, Lynn, for me. I'll be honest. Lynn just asked me health benefits for you or others. I did it for me. I just it's kind of a little, okay, I'm gonna give some away, and then my body's gonna regenerate brand new, kind of fresh blood. And that's just kind of my theory. My doctor and I talked about it, and that's what she encouraged me to do. So that's what I do. But I never thought, okay, if I did get a jab, which I didn't, but if I did get a jab, how is that going to impact the blood I get? And obviously the Red Cross, now that study after study is coming out going, maybe we rushed into this. Maybe there's some teeth to this whole myocarditis and pericarditis thing. Maybe there is some people like getting their immune systems just jacked up with this experimental cocktail that was injected into your body on emergency need basis or whatever they use. Oh, by the way, if you did have the J&J jab, it's been pulled by the FDA. So the FDA said, no. I know we said it's okay, and it qualified so you didn't lose your job, but yeah, it's not safe. We're going to pull that off. Because again, it takes over a decade usually to throw out some kind of medication like this. Did it in 6 months. Operation Warp Speed was amazing. It was an amazing feat. It spent way too much money, and it got us something that is ultimately not doing the best for us. So even the Red Cross is like, okay, so if you've had a vaccine, there's going to be a lot of people that just absolutely don't want your blood. And I think that's scary, because I'm going to go through the 3 definitions of vaccine. If you didn't catch on, the powers that be changed the definition of vaccine not once but twice during COVID. You ready? Vaccination. This is the first definition. Let me see here. Infection of a killed or weakened infectious organism in order to prevent the disease. Okay, you with me here? That's number 1. Then, during COVID, we had to change the definition of this bad boy. Yeah. The act of introducing a vaccine into the body to produce immunity to a specific disease. And that was the definition between 2015 and 2021. When did that vaccine come out? Exactly. In 2021, we had to change the definition. You ready for this? The act of introducing a vaccine into the body to produce protection from a specific disease. Protection. That's why I've had to have boosters. I saw there was I believe it's the Tempe Improv, and I believe this is a while back, but there was a comedian that was bragging about being, boosted, twice vax, boosted, had all this, look at me, I've traveled the world, and I did meet and greets, and look at me, and she dropped, pop, right there. She said, I guess Jesus just loves me more. She said she didn't get COVID, and she dropped and collapsed. I mean, hit her grape on the back. It was not an act. She passed the bleep out. Yeah. So that's why right now you can't. It's if you have given, if you are planning on giving blood and you have had the jab, this might be a block now. If you go to, and I have not, please stop spreading the rumors, or don't start spreading the rumors. If you go to a one of those institutions where you can donate your life creating parts, if you know what I'm saying, not life saving, life creating. The most sought after donations are those from the unvaxxed. Why? Thought it was safe and effective. Thought it was fine. No. I'm just going to say it. No. We spent more. I'm crystal clear with you here. We have spent more as a nation, as a government, as a ruling body, on preventing you from buying ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine,
Hydroxychloroquine.
then fentanyl. We literally have the government stopped your ability to buy, the medical world, the pharmaceutical world stopped your ability to buy a Nobel Prize winning medication. They spent more time making sure you can't get that and hydroxychloroquine than they have stopping fentanyl from killing and poisoning our entire nation. But it's okay if they don't ask you if you've had fentanyl. They ask you if you had a jab. If you had a jab, you might not qualify. You might not be able to donate life-saving blood because your blood might be tainted. It might jack up somebody's immune system, or it might give them heart swelling. Look, this isn't tinfoil hat stuff. This isn't. You can look this up yourself. The results are there. And a lot of these studies, thank goodness, come from nations that don't have a political dog in the fight. So they do real studies and real research. Not here in the United States, like we can't have that. This is gonna take away. Big Pharma's gonna be really mad if we call them out, right? Yeah, I did not get a jab. I did not at all. But I know that the two biggest problems I've seen in these studies that are coming out are pericarditis and myocarditis. That's swelling of the actual heart or swelling of the lining of the heart. I believe it's the external, the casing, so to speak. And then immunity issues. So it jacks with your immune system. Not in the way that normal, like real vaccines, not immunity boosters or protectors, do. It's a real vaccine that actually jacks a little bit with your immunity system, so it knows how to fight a certain anything that comes in, right? That's a real vaccine. This, with the spike proteins and all of that, are actually jacking with the entire thing. Remember the very beginning of this thing? They're like, no, go right here in your arm. It stays right there. Stays right there. Spike proteins stay right there. And they're like, oh, they don't. they travel there, but don't worry about it. They travel there, but don't worry about it. Yeah, high school kids are dropping on the basketball court and things like that, but don't you worry about it. Everything's fine. Yeah. They were twice boosted. Yeah, it's okay though. Nothing to see here. It's a tough one. So the Red Cross is basically not even saying the quiet part out loud. There's just nothing they can do because they don't want the liability. Could you imagine, as an organization, your liability is you took a lot of blood from people that had a vaccine and you gave it to people that didn't have vaccines, and they didn't know that? You mean, talk about kicking the religious exemption out the window. I mean, these lawsuits are piling up right now of people that lost their job because they weren't offered a religious exemption for something that they said, was, I don't know, made in a certain way or whatever. It's absolutely frightening what is going to come to bear when it comes to this rapid freak out that we had collectively with these vaccinations. I remember there was one, what was it? Something like 10 million doses or something like that for one of the three pharmaceutical companies that didn't get cleared for it, didn't get approved for it. And then Biden sent that off to a different country. That's fine. FDA is not going to approve this one, so go ahead and just ship those off to a different country. It's frightening. All right, let's wrap this nooner up, shall we? This is Russell, not just the Brewmance, the Friday nooner. Thanks for hanging out. Rob will be back next week. Vivek Ramaswamy, one of the most fun things to say. I think Trump might use this guy as a VP just so he can say Vivek Ramaswamy. I just think he likes saying it. I like saying it. It's a heck of a name. And Vivek has likened Elon Musk, and of course, I'm going to keep talking about Elon Musk and Elon I trust. Elon Musk as one of the founding fathers, or likened him to one of the founding fathers, or as one of the founding fathers. And I ain't mad at this. I'm not. I'm not mad at this at all. I think there's something to be said here. because it has been a far too long, I would say, that our nation has held in its arms someone that thinks this deep and thinks this long term. He thinks far into the future. He doesn't think now. He's not worried about now. He was thinking about now when he was 12. He is a deep thinker and is just like the. I mean, can you imagine? Look at the United States Constitution. And I don't give me this garbage about, oh, it was born of slavery. Let's knock it off. Look at the Constitution itself. Look at how it's written. The Bill of Rights. Look how it's all written. It's fantastic. It's perfect. That's why the only reason why we have the Second Amendment right now and the right to bear arms is because it was written perfectly. And it's such a quick little snippet. That comma, we're going to debate maybe on the Go Show. I mean, we'll talk about the Go Show tomorrow morning. 8 a.m. Check us out right here. So anyway, it was a perfectly written document. So much so that it has stood the test of time for over 200 years. That's deep and way out thinking. His mother's. Don't make me look up Elon Musk's mom. You're going to get me in trouble. Is that what you just said? You did, Lynn. All right. You're going to get me in trouble. So the comparison to Elon Musk to the founding fathers, I like. But I would change the word. I don't think Elon Musk is a founding father. I think Elon Musk is a fixing father. Elon Musk can be compared to the founding fathers with that type of deep thinking and long-term vision. I think that's probably more long-term thing is long-term vision. But Elon Musk is not founding a nation. Elon Musk is fixing a nation. That man is on a bloody tear on his own platform. I think he spent $40 billion just to buy Twitter so he could play on it. I firmly believe that. I'm going to read you one of his posts. It is fabulous. It is one of his posts is that you're welcome, Eddie. I was on time today. See, I'm going to blame Rob because Rob isn't here, so I'm going to blame him. You see on the screen right there, you see it's an igloo. It's an igloo that is lit up from the inside. This is an Elon Musk post. And I'm telling you, this is a perfect example of Elon Musk not only trolling, but just playing with his $40 billion toy. I'm going to read you the caption right here. You see it, so I'm not messing around with you guys. Here you go. Ready? This is what an igloo looks like when a fire is built inside. The fire melts the inner layer of ice, then surrounding cold refreezes it. A new layer of ice insulates this, thus added that can keep the temperature inside of the igloo at 60 degrees while it's minus 50 degrees outside. That's fascinating, right? See this? Okay. This is Elon Musk's post. The same post after it said inside of the igloo at 60 degrees while it's not minus 50 degrees outside. And even the Eskimos inside know that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. It's using it as a giant $40 billion trolling platform, and I love it. Because maybe again, I mean, we see this is all in plain sight. I said this is how we would basically theme today's show. And again, appreciate you being here. But I mean, that is absolutely dead on. Sorry, he didn't. We can have the whole discussion later. But Elon Musk doesn't want that to escape. It doesn't want that to go away. He wants you to be, again, in plain sight. No one's safe. Let me just say, no one's going to take care of you. You got to take care of yourself. That's basically Elon's message is, this government is corrupt. There's some bad stuff going on here. I mean, some bad hombres. A bunch of corn pops up there in D.C. You know what I mean? All right. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is another issue of being in plain sight. There are now more. This is a tough one. There are now more Chinese single military-age men being allowed into our nation via our southern border, and now the Canadian border, if you want to look into that debacle, than any other country. Again, I believe in coincidences. I've just never seen one. Put this all together. I'm being dead serious about this. So we can just wrap almost all of these topics up into one. people, and this is probably one of the wisest things I've seen in a while, people that are fleeing a bad situation, what it is, the Northern Triangle and climate change, whatever it is, bring their families or a member of their family. Those going to war only bring themselves. Not saying anything's happening. I'm saying keep my eyes open. I hope you keep your eyes open as well. Now let's put it all together, shall we? Now more military-aged single Chinese men entering the United States as part of the asylum-seeking process than any other nation. China, at the same time, is buying up land wholesale around our major military installations. You can look that up, again, provable. Fact check me. The Chinese government and Chinese-backed companies, Chinese government-backed companies, Chinese Communist Party companies are buying up land in the United States around military installations with a quickness. Y'all remember the balloon? Yeah. The balloon that the intelligence community and military admits now that they saw take off from Beijing. And they watched it. And they watched it. And they watched it go over Alaska. That's when they should have shot it down. They watched it cut through Canada and traverse the United States in a low-level flying balloon where you could see it with the naked eye, going over our military installations and getting vast amounts of information in most likely stuff that is not stuff that we don't want the Chinese government having. They have now, because the Biden administration quite literally gave us the stupid, asinine excuse of, oh, we don't want to shoot it down because we might hurt a farmer. Have you ever flown across the country? I have, several times. There's a lot of places that balloon could have been shot down, period. But it wasn't meant to be shot down until then. Remember the big victory lap at the end of it all, and it went over the Atlantic Ocean. It's like, we shut it down. Look at us. Woo-hoo-hoo. We shut it down. And then they went and shot down a hobby balloon up north. There's some kids that paid, some like a club, I think, out of Illinois. They actually were flying a balloon around to basically learn science. Military wasted a couple $100,000 blowing that one up. But it was already too late. It already done its damage. So come on, let's put the pieces together here. Military-aged Chinese men now crossing the border at a rate higher than any other nation. And we have the Chinese Communist Party buying up land around our military installations. And we have a balloon that has been flown over the United States with success. The government did nothing about it to help, nothing to stop it. Means they either knew about it, they were in on it, or they were just too neutered to do anything with Xi Jinping, which is probably the case. Put those three things together, because that is the type of a vessel that could take an EMP all day. An electromagnetic pulse, some sort of weapon, could be bioweapon, whatever it is. And if we're just going to tell the Chinese government and our adversaries, you got this, go ahead. Make it happen. You can do whatever you want. We're just going to allow it to go down because we don't want to hurt somebody's barn or land it on a cow, God forbid. It's going to happen. Again, I'm not saying that this is all one part of a grand plan. It looks like it to me, but I'm not going to say it is. I'm going to say the only thing I can do is prepare for something like this. Make sure that my tribe knows the plan. Make sure they're as safe as I could possibly make them. Because they're not hiding it anymore. It's done. It's done being hidden. All that nonsense about, the outage of the cell phones, it was just because of a meteor hit a satellite. Okay. Again, who do you trust? Who can you trust? You can trust Major League Baseball, minus banging on trash cans. Yeah, that's for all my Dodgers fans out there and the Houston fans out there. Why are you still a fan of it anyway? You can trust baseball. And so I want to end this, obviously, on some sort of positive note on Friday. Get out there if you can. Get out there, check out some spring training games. Have a good time. This is when Arizona just quite literally, with the sun going on, shines. And the other night, did you see that rainbow and the sunset and Arizona is just showing off right now. We have the greatest state in the nation. We always do, but these months that I will put against any other state in the nation, climate wise, this is time to get out, have some fun, hang out, and have a good time. I got out already to do a game. Got another game coming up the 10th. So excited, and just to get out. Ticket prices. What's up with that? I guess we might talk about that on the next Russell and Hunter's Brewmance the Nooner. So let's see what we got going on here. 70-year-old model. Lynn, I got to find out what we're doing here. What do we do? I'm not going to stop the stream here. I'm going to look this up here. Hold on. Show me a picture of Elon Musk's mother. Let's see what we got here. Hey. Wow. Sup, mom? Okay. Elon Musk's mom is okay. That's 75 years old. Let's see. How old is Elon Musk's mother? 75. Son of a biscuit. What kind of so she created probably the most intelligent man known to Earth. And she looks at so I want a parenting book by Elon Musk's mom. And I would like some sort of nutrition and stay healthy, stay fit, take care of yourself kind of vibe. What in the? And if you know anything about Elon Musk, she's got like 94 grandchildren. Holy mackerel. Eddie, that's a great question. And thank you. Check us out tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. For the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of the state that we live in. They hit the cards, bro. We're going to talk about that. The cards did hit. Sorry, buddy, if they haven't hit yours yet, just keep checking. Maybe the second round of the second pass. But I did. I got drawn for bull elk. Check it out. So, yeah. So check it out, Eddie. Really do. Lynn, thanks so much, guys. I know. Sorry, Eddie. I hate to break that news to you. But it looks like they did hit. But here's the deal. Here's what I want you to do. Tune in tomorrow at 8. You're on Facebook, too. So follow the Go Show with Mike Russell on the Facebook, like you're on right now. And I'm going to give you a couple good alternatives for this, okay, in case your card didn't get hit. Okay, got you. I got you. We're going to have a good time with that. Hey, y'all, thank you so much for playing along. This has been fun, especially I'm really going to write or troll Elon until his mother writes a book about parenting and staying fit. Yeah, right? Okay. Thank you so much for being here. This is Russell and Hunter's The Brewmance Friday Nooner. I'll take my nerd glasses off right there. And thank you, eye to eye, so to speak, or not 4 eyes, 2 eyes. So thank you. And we will see you Monday at 4 o'clock right here on The Brewmance. Have a great weekend, everybody.